First fire of the season. I can't tell you how nice it feels. You know, and it's so funny because you can complain about the heat of the summer, and then the cold temps come, and you sit by the fire and it's blasting, and it just feels wonderful. It's very soothing. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just wonderful. Having my coffee, staring at the flames, just lost in thought. I got Frankie and Tildy right here. There's Tildy, and here's Frankie. Just loving it. Yep. Not that I'm wishing winter to come, but I do like having the stove going. Yeah. Cheers. So get this, I'm peeling the tar paper out. Right at the tippity top, tearing off the top piece of tar paper that was under there, because I'm going to start restructuring the eave like that. I reach up and I peel it off, and a bat was in that, and he come out and hits me off the head, circles around me, and takes off. Freak me right. Anyway, I'm glad it wasn't a hornet's nest. The cabin project has been a steady forward progression all summer. After replacing the old tar paper, I reconstructed the overhang, and by gluing the components before nailing them in, she'll hold strong and true and never sag. I ripped up a bunch of shiplap so the boards will nest together and prevent the bees and rodents from nesting in there as well. Taking extra precautions in this area is a good investment of my time. I don't think any critters will be finding their way into these soffits. No, sir. The beefed up overhang will need wider trim, so I tore off all the old stuff. And there goes the last of Daddy-O's blue paint. Now I'm not ready to build a screen porch, but I want the piers in the ground for when the time comes, so there they are, right there. I pecked away at the rooms upstairs a little at a time. Once the interior framing was over with, I baby-stepped my way through the drywalling process and finished it up at a pace I could enjoy. I put down new underlayment before the carpet went into the office area, and where a single window once stood in the gable, now there's a double, and it's all trimmed out. The wiring is finished, which is my least favorite part of the job, but we gotta have light. And I planed more rough-cut lumber than you can shake a stick at. Got it planed and sanded, and Mama did all the finishing. Then I nailed it up, and there was a lot of it. I put a few finishing touches in the kitchen area too, and I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. So the office area has come together nicely. There's just a few things left to install and the room will be ready to use, and we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to working in front of these windows too. Looks a bit different than it used to up here. Bare rafters and junk stacked to the ridgepole. Oh, looks like we've got a new foreman on the job, keeping her eye on me. Little Tildy girl. Well, you heard me talk about the mall several times, and we keep getting stuff. Never said I was a minimalist. Because we go to the dump, we bring home more stuff than we bring. Anyway, I've got this 300-foot tape measure. It used to be on a plastic thing. And that was a piece of crap, and it broke. So I wound it all on this wooden spool that some cable came on. But this is a pain in the butt. So we go to the dump. And I know this is made for extension cords and stuff like that. And I was gonna use it for my air hose, but we're moving lot lines on some property, and I decided I'm gonna put this into action and get this wound up. Then at a later date, I come up with a different plan, then I can unwind it and use it for an extension cord or an air hose. I'm getting dive bombed by hummingbirds. They're insane out here. We sit here on the porch and they're everywhere. They're all over us. Kind of funny. Here comes another one. Well, that'll be easier. Mission accomplished. This old dustpan's been here for as long as I can remember. It's been a long time. And Mama's fed up with it, because it's all worn down. She scoops up the dirt and there's a whole bunch left, so I'm going to attempt to fix it. Let's give it a go. Okay, there's a little bit of residue right there.
Way better than it was.
Now let's give it a test. This is Mama's new one. What'd you spend? $4?
Yeah, just under 4.
$4. Let's see. It was a good investment. Oh, the lib man wins. The lib man wins over the boss man. Alrighty, time for questions of the week. The first question is, what is my opinion on propane generators? Well, I like the idea of it. I have never used one, so I can't say how well they work out. But having everything on one fuel sounds like a good idea to me. What I really like about propane is you can store that stuff for a long, long time and it doesn't go bad. Unlike gasoline, especially the newer stuff with the ethanol in it, you got to put additive in it, and the additive's not cheap. You have a lot of gasoline stored around, well, it can get pretty dangerous, you know. Propane's a lot safer to store. So I really like the idea of that. If I ever have to replace my Champion generator, I'm certainly going to give the propane ones a try. So that's my opinion on that. When I seasoned my cast iron pans, I never did the bottom because I was afraid that they would smoke. But now the underside of my pans is becoming rusty. How do you handle this? All right. I season the entire pan every time it gets washed. Put a little bit of olive oil on a paper towel. I wipe the entire pan, okay? When you're done, if your pans feel oily, you got too much oil on them, okay? I can't overemphasize the point where I say use a little tiny bit of oil and wipe off all the excess, okay? I just put a tiny bit on a paper towel, I wipe it, and I take a dry one and I wipe it all off. And that's all you need. I do the entire pan, top and bottom, never have any smoke. That's what I do. How's the new pup working out? She's working out really good. I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like she's got her potty training all figured out. There's been no accidents in the house for about 4 days now. You just got to stay on it, man. You see her nosing around, you got to watch her. Anytime she's been playing hard, she goes and fills her tank, wakes up from a nap, outside she goes to the same exact spot all the time. She's learning what that spot is for. Sleeps through the night, not a problem. I mean, she's pretty crazy though. Yeah. She
did a little repair of her own to the screen door, a little alteration there. The house looks like a daycare. There's toys everywhere. Frankie's warming up to her, a little at a time, but he escapes to the man cave upstairs to get away from her whenever he needs to. But all in all, I think she's going to be a good dog. Yeah. Lots of people still commenting on the dad's knife there, where I mentioned that I might straighten out the knife guard, but I decided I'm going to leave it the way that it is. Lots of people are saying I should anyway, and I agree 100%. I know my dad, he modified everything, always putting his little modification on everything he bought. I'm certain that the bend in the knife guard was something that he did. Someone said that he probably did it when he was wearing it in the Air Force. Maybe sitting in a cockpit or whatever, the top of that knife guard might have been poking him or something and he bent it over. That's probably a very accurate assumption right there. So the knife guard is staying the way it is. Yeah. Lots of questions asking about bow hunting because they know that September 15th is opening day of bow season here. Yes, I'm going to be bow hunting. I still get some trail work to do and I have work to do on my stands, but I'm really slow out of the gate in that regard because we've had so many things to take care of. I've been spending some time on the road going back and forth to Dartmouth Hitchcock because I'm going to have some surgery coming up that I'm not looking forward to. But I'll talk about that in the future as things unfold. But so I've been taking care of my priorities. Bow hunting is certainly a priority and it's going to happen and I will film every bit of it. But I'm a little slow out of the gate this year. That's all. The season is long though, because in New York, the season goes until like after the first week of December. So I have a lot of time to fill the freezer, so no worries there. All right, one last question, and this is just a funny one, going in the line with the one that I mentioned a while back about if a tree falls in the forest. Lots of people had their own little twist off of that. So here it is. If a man speaks in the forest and his wife doesn't hear him, is he still wrong? I say, heck no, because it wasn't his fault that she wasn't paying attention. So that's it for now, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All the best to you. God bless.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go. There's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.